Would you believe it if I told you that I am a follower of the world's oldest documented religion? A religion that at one point was practiced by millions, but unfortunately has now fallen into near obscurity.
I think I have an idea, but what's your religious background?
I am a Zoroastrian.
As are we. And although we're tiny in numbers now, at one point in history, Zoroastrianism was considered to be one of the largest religions in the world that spanned continents. However, try to tell that to the general public, and all you get in return is a confused look.
Absolutely, but let's not forget that before Muhammad, before Jesus, before Moses, and long before Buddha, there was Zarathustra.
However, it never fails to amaze me owing to the impact Zoroastrianism has had throughout history. But I do not blame most people for lack of the knowledge. A religion that at one point was practiced by millions and whose influence can be seen in other religious and philosophical systems, including but not limited to Judaism, Christianity, Islam, the Baha'i faith, and Buddhism, has now fallen into near obscurity.
Unfortunately, not very many people have heard of Zarathustra or what he stood for. It's unfortunate because there's an abundance of scholarly literature and artistic reflection on Zarathustra. For example, the great Western philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche's masterful work called Thus Spake Zarathustra. Mozart paid tribute to Zarathustra in his musical masterpiece, The Magic Flute. Zarathustra's influence can also be seen in mainstream media in works such as Star Wars and Game of Thrones.
From its birth in 1767 BC, over 3,700 years ago, in a time of remote antiquity, and through the epixis of three mighty Iranian empires, the Achaemenians, the Parthians, and the Sasanians, spanning over 1,200 years, the Zoroastrian religion and its proud people have had an unprecedented history.
To put simply, our religion is one of the first and the foremost monotheistic faiths which believed in only one God and was founded by our prophet Zarathustra in Central Asia. Zarathustra received revelations from Ahura Mazda, the wise god or Lord Wisdom, which outlined the purpose of Ahura Mazda and his work in upholding the order of truth, also known as Asha. It also revealed the existence of the deceitful mentality known as Angramenu that sought to spread destructive lies and evil.
The revelations were laid out through songs and poems containing the core teachings of Zarathustra, known as the Gathas. The Gathas of Zarathustra furnishes one's mind with lofty, timeless, divine, fundamental, and philosophical principles to serve as a guide throughout one's life. However, the Gathas are not prescriptions and interdictions consisting of do's and don'ts, because if that was the case, it would only be applicable to its time or shortly thereafter. But the Gathas and the doctrine of Zarathustra are as relevant today as they were when composed by a prophet millennia ago. In fact, they are timeless and ever-abiding. It is a doctrine based on the trifecta ethos of Hommata, Huchta, Hovareshta, denoting good thoughts, good words, and good deeds.
The reality is that there are no good deeds without good thoughts and good words. That's reflected in the basic teachings of Zarathustra. You see, as Zoroastrians, we are responsible for our choices in life. The path we choose to follow can either have wondrous fulfillment or grave consequence. As Zoroastrians, we choose to follow good thoughts, good words, and good deeds, not because we are forced to abide by a strict set of religious tenets, but because it's the right thing to do. It's the path of righteousness, the path that we Zoroastrians call Asha. And that's something that's very unique to Zoroastrianism, the concept that each Zoroastrian has free will to choose how to live his or her life and is prepared to accept the repercussions or rewards that come with that choice.
This being said, Like all faiths, the philosophies and tenets of Zoroastrianism is one that must be questioned and pondered upon, as concepts of faith are subjective and open to an individual's interpretation. Faith is a subjective quality and is in many ways similar to the other subjective experiences.
Zarathustra's main message is one of upholding the righteous path of Asha. The way of Asha, of goodness and order, truth and justice, can be practiced by anyone in any society. In principle, any human being living and practicing a righteous life of truth, kindness, and goodness may be deemed as a Zoroastrian. For every good thought, good word, and good deed we do, we are helping Ahura Mazda and each other to grow and prosper as a society and civilization. And we have the choice to do so, as it is not imposed. It also highlights the importance Zoroastrianism places on free will, providing and empowering each individual with the ability and freedom of self-determining their own destiny by the choices they make for themselves and by themselves.
Although Zoroastrianism is a religion deemed to be in decline, but a vibrant culture, now gone global, flourishes and thrives.